only a mountain on the first turn, but his deck is capable of much more than that. A full 8 copies of the 2-mana lands, Ancient Tomb and City of Traders, Chrome Box, and Simian Spirit Guide. So really focus on coming out of the gates on turn 1.
Well, there is a Chrome Box. We'll see what he elects to remove here. Looks like he'll be removing something for the imprint cost. We'll see what the follow-up will be. There's Cavern of Souls.
Ooh.
And now Trinisphere. We'll see what Cavern's naming. Likely Goblins, but we will get confirmation here in just a moment.
Not a guarantee that it's Goblins because Magus of the Moon is in the deck, but yes.
He's going to go with Human for Magus. So, there you go. Here's a Spell Pierce on the Trinisphere.
And this matchup is going to put a lot of pressure on Rudy's ability to find cards like Spell Pierce early and often in the game. I don't think his Stoneforge, Mystic, True Name Nemesis type of engine is worth a lot, though if the game goes on for a long time, it can be good. It's all about protecting himself early.
And Dylan click the draw here for Briksza. Looks like he's going to play a Plains, perhaps. Maybe go with Karakas is what he'll choose instead. And he'll pass the turn back over to Arthur's. He'll draw a card. And sacrifice the Arid Mesa. We're in the draw step here, it looks like. And it'll be a Vendilion click action, as he will search for a land here in just a moment. There's Tundra. No red mana just yet here for Rudy. Here's the grip. Magus, Blood Moon, Koth, Simian Spirit Guide, and Trinisphere. Well, okay then.
You say no red mana, but that might be changing here.
Yeah, that's true.
If Marshall Blood Moons him.
Maybe that's part of the reason he actually searched for the Tundra, is because it was going to be given red mana, excuse me. Kind of in a roundabout way.
Sure.
Bit of a free roll, some would say.
He also needs double blue, so
yeah,
it's one of those deals where getting the Volcanic doesn't make a lot of sense because he wants white mana in the event that he doesn't get Blood Mooned, and if he does get Blood Mooned, he gets red mana regardless.
That's your boy right there, Koth the Hammer. That's
Hammer
your
time.
boy.
Oh yeah. Reinvigorated my Magic career.
I don't know how much damage you dealt with that card, but probably a lot.
Oh yeah.
Mystery card coming here for Arthur's. But there you do see the grip. This crazy off-the-wall red deck. Powering him into the top 8.
And this is the problem, though, with decks like Marshall's. Now we've entered the stage of the game where Rudy gets to play Magic. He's got some lands and stuff, so things like Trinisphere matter a lot less. These lock pieces aren't quite as good.
Blood Moon, Cavern of Souls, and passing the turn back. And that one's going to be on Goblin. Looks like. So, going to put the Rudy's going to assist him there. And now there's, yeah, perfect. See, we make great use of these.
This is great.
Make sure it's very clear. One of them is on Human, one of them is on Goblin. We're just going to draw a card. Another Vendilion click. There's a Plains. So Rudy does have an island, a Plains, and then those non-basics, well, those are mountains. So Blood Moon doing a little bit of damage here. Looks like we're going to have a Brainstorm get cast.
The best thing the Blood Moon is doing right now is shutting down Rudy's Karakas, because Vendilion Click plus Karakas against a deck with so many disjointed parts, that's going to be really problematic for Marshall.
Yeah.
But in terms of Rudy's ability to play Magic, he'll be mostly fine here. Can't cast certain double blue spells for the time being, but he's doing just fine without.
Arthur's will draw. We know he's got the Magus over there. But his non-basics are also mountains, so these spells can be countered. There's a Trinisphere. Gonna make things a little more expensive for Briksza. That's gonna work just fine. So the big problem here for Arthur's is he's got to get this Vendilion Click off the table now, as there's a Flooded Strand / mountain.
And if we're looking at removal spells in the deck, there aren't a lot. There is a Murderous Red Cap.
Okay.
Pretty awesome.
Yep.
And a Siege Gang Commander.
That is a removal spell. 3-mana Brainstorm. A couple of swords. Brainstorm resolves. Pass turn back. No fetching, of course, because Blood Moon's in play. Arthur's will draw a card. Looks like another copy of Cavern of Souls, perhaps.
Oh, yeah.
Well, how about that whammy? There is the red cap.
Give me some of that.
Absolutely. You Goblin fans out there got to be pretty happy.
And now this is problematic for Rudy. He can't really chain together 2 spells in a turn for the time being, or it's harder to because of the Trinisphere. He can't cast a Vendilion Click in his hand because he lacks double blue.
Here's another Brainstorm. Swords, Mesa. Stoneforge isn't bad, but that one costs 3 mana. I suppose he does have a land with these cards here, so he's going to put back a Swords. There is a land. This is a Stoneforge Mystic. It's time to go searching, likely for Batterskull. And that's good to go.
And with 2 copies of Swords to Plowshares in hand, I think Rudy's going to be able to keep Marshall mostly contained here.
I'm going to go back Arthur's way now. He will draw a card. Actually, he does have a copy of Siege Gang Commander in his hand. Huh. He's got some fight in him.
But if the Siege Gang gets plowed, that is problematic.
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt about it.
Now, there is still the Tuk Tuk Scrapper.
Oh, well, can't forget about that.
Oh, no.
First things first.
Yep.
Red
Yeah.
Zone.
Love it.
In for 2. Don't need no birthing pod. Just draw that thing. There's a mountain. This is a Siege Gang Commander. Bunch of gobos. 3 of them. Pass the turn back. Briksza going to draw a copy of True Nemesis. Can't cast that one. Well, one card he can cast is Lightning Bolt. Thank you, Blood Moon. Appreciate that. See you later, Siege Gang. Necessary mana available to either cast the Swords of Plowshares or put the Batterskull in. Arthur's will draw. These guys lock pieces in place, but they're not doing a great job this game.
They came a little too late to the party.
Yeah.
That's the issue here. Most of these lock pieces started getting deployed on turns 2 and turn 3 once Rudy had some basic lands and was able to make his land drops. And Trinisphere, just not that effective once you get later on in the game, assuming your opponent's making their land drops.
There's 3 mana. Let's see what this is going to be. Looks like it might be the Magus. Yep. Yeah, just pass the turn back. In comes Batterskull. Germ token as well. Time to pass the turn back over to Briksza, who's going to draw cards and island. There's a second blue.
That's a huge draw for Rudy.
Yep.
Unlocks a lot of his hand, especially this one.
True Name Nemesis is here. Selecting Marshall Arthurs. Here's an attack for 4. Quick update for you guys. That was
Whoa.
That was fast. Tell you what, Kazu Negri with combo elves takes down Brad Nelson playing Sneak and Show very quickly.
We are 8 minutes into the round.
See you later, alligator.
Wow.
Not messing around.
That was fast.
Somebody's got a dinner date or something. I don't know what's going on. See you later, Brad. Good run. Take your open series points, move the leaderboard, and get out of Kazu's house. He's going to play the winner of Brandon Hewlings and Eric Carson. Both those players playing Blue-Red Delver.
The Fort Bolt mirror match going on,
Yes.
waiting for elves.
Let's see what we have here. Oh, Kiki Jiki, ever heard of it?
Oh, we got some combos.
This is a delight tonight. Yeah, just gonna pass the turn back. Looks like there'll be a Swords of Plowshares here. Probably targeting Kiki Jiki. Yeah. Response gonna copy Murderous Redcap. And that will likely shoot down the Stoneforge Mystic, but we'll see. I guess it's gonna maybe it just goes upstairs.
Okay. A little surprising because 2 points of damage doesn't seem that significant.
Yeah. That's gonna cost 1 more. Thank you, Mr. GT.
Price check.
Yep. Equip the True Nemesis and let me run away here. The equipment are very powerful, and Arthur's gonna concede the game. Rudy Briksza gonna win game number 1 here with Jeskai Stoneblade. Over Marshall Arthur's playing Mono Red Mog Catchers. We will come back for trivia. 3-month giveaway time. This guy's got the rules, and I have the question.
So Cedric's going to ask you a question. You'll tweet your answer at SCG Live, hashtag SCG Premium. Of the correct responses, one will be selected at random for 3 free months of SCG Games premium content. It is about accuracy and not speed, so don't worry about submitting your answer first, just accurately. And please keep in mind that this giveaway is run at the sole discretion of StarCityGames.com, and that Twitch TV is in no way affiliated with giveaways or contests on its stream.
we have a versus, kind of a live versus. I don't want to call it a versus video, but a live versus taking place at the Grand Prix on Friday. It's between two of our favorite people here in the Open Series. Brian Braun to win is one of them. The other one, well, that's the person you got to name. And if you have his Twitter handle, you can throw that in there for bonus points, of course.
Extra credit.
Yeah, that's
we
how we do
always
things.
give out extra credit on these sort of things.
Yeah, so again, versus a live one taking place at the Grand Prix in New Jersey on Friday. Name the person that'll be joining Brian Braun to win in that live versus video. Hashtag your answer with the hashtag of SCG Premium. Make sure you're following at SCG Live, and we will announce the winner at the conclusion of our quarterfinal round as we will head back over to the match. Take a look at the sideboards here between the two players. You'll see that Arthur's has 3 Ensnaring Bridge, 2 Spell Skites, 2 Sting Scourgers, a little Goblin action, 4 Pyrokinesis, an Emrakul the Andstorm, Jay Ballard Taskmage, and 2 Gemstone Caverns.
Well, I'm not really sure exactly what to make of the sideboard. The big question to me is, does Rudy have artifact removal? Because if he really struggles to get artifacts off the table, then Marshall may be able to go to an Ensnaring Bridge plan against him. And it seems like Rudy, by the looks of things, is fairly soft. So I think that may be a plan here. Other than that, I think the Jaya Ballard is fine to bring in. The 2 copies of Spellskite also seem reasonable.
Other side, you're going to see some 1s and some 2s for Briksza. The Cage, the Relic, the Baneslayer Angel, the Joe Lisette Special, 2 Containment Priests, 2 Core Firewalkers, 2 Blood Moons, a Blue Elemental Blast, 2 Flusterstorm, a Red Blast, a Pyroclasm, and a Supreme Verdict.
I like the Supreme Verdict in this matchup. I like the variety of Blue Blasts afforded to Rudy. I think the Pyroclasm is good against Marshall as well. And the 2 copies of Core Firewalker, even though I don't think this is necessarily the matchup he has in mind, probably more things like Burn. I think Core Firewalker does a good enough job attacking and blocking that it's better than other stuff Rudy has going on.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Core Firewalker's got to be pretty good in this matchup. One thing you'll note here is that, you know, in Briksza's sideboard, he has Blood Moons of his own. So you have to imagine that the Blood Moon effects that Arthur's has, just aren't going to be that good.
Well, I think Marshall can still keep in some of them because Rudy still has some non-basic lands. And you saw Rudy struggled slightly with the Blood Moon effects, couldn't cast his double blue spells on time. I think that Marshall's going to want to get away from some of them, but I would leave at least 1 in the deck as an Imperial Recruiter target at the minimum, and probably a little bit more than that.
Quick updates for you guys. Brandon Hewlings and Eric Carson, Blue-Red Delvermere, they're going to game number 3. And then Jack Fogel with his kind of Miracle Stoneblade-esque deck with Sensei's Divine Top. And Jared Rice playing Blue-Red Delver. They're going to game 3 as well. Winner of that match will be playing the winner of this match between Briksza and Arthur's.
We're just humming along.
Players are moving and grooving.
I like it.
Brad Nelson probably already on the drive home. Got dispatched pretty fast.
Yep.
Tell you what.
Don't know how much lingering there is to be done.
Sneak and show, good run there for him. But Kazunegri with Elves takes it down pretty quick.
Surprisingly quickly.
Yeah, it's pretty fast. Gotta agree with you there. But Elves is capable of some pretty crazy things, as we do know.
I mean, we both like that matchup for Sneak and Show, right?
I feel like Sneak and Show is a turn faster.
You'd rather be Sneak and Show on the draw than Elves on the play.
Yeah.
It's close.
Yeah, I mean, it's close.
But
I think I agree with you overall, yeah. I do think the Sneak and Show is favored by a little bit. I think they're just, you know, I don't want to say it's a full turn faster, but I do think they're faster. And plus, they have interaction with Pyroclasm. So I'm actually surprised by the result of that, at least Brad not getting a game. You know, mulligans do factor in at times, but a little surprised.
well, if the match was over that fast, we probably have a pretty good idea what happened.
Yeah. Natural order. See you later.
Elves jammed. Brad couldn't stop it. Finn. End scene.
Yeah, pretty much. So we will see if Arthur's can tie things up here in game number 2 with this innovative deck that is starting to make a name for itself in Legacy. Saw it made the top 16 when we were in Minneapolis. And now we have one in the top 8 here.
And it is fun. It is a fun deck. Well, setting aside the fact that the goal of the deck is to prevent its opponent from ever casting a spell, once you accept that's part of what's going on here, it's a pretty fun deck.
Depends on what your definition of fun is.
My
That's fun to me.
My enjoyment at the expense of someone else in equal measure. If that's your definition of fun, Mono Red Mod Catcher, that's the deck for you.
Sign me up. Quick. You know, I did play Belcher for a year, so.
Belcher's fine. I mean, when Belcher wins, the game's over fast. Just go on and play another one. The Mono Red Mod Catcher deck, there's always the hope that you can chain together enough lands to finally cast a Brainstorm that's been in your hand since the start of the game.
There are some people out there who get enjoyment out of not letting their opponent play at all for very long. Some people sit down and say, well, yes, Magic, dead.
Right.
I just wanted to play.
I'm not looking for opponents. I'm looking for witnesses.
That's correct.
I just want
correct.
someone sitting across from me watching what I'm doing.
Look at, he pile shuffled, he mulliganed, down to
Thought about
6, thought about his mulligan, decided to keep it, then I killed him.
Right.
That's my style of fun. That's what I'm talking about right there.
Absolutely.
Went to the sideboard, realized he didn't have anything.
Guy went over to the vendor table to buy a foil Arid Mesa to show off. Didn't even get to put it into play.
That's beautiful.
That is fun.
That's why I love Belcher. How expensive is your deck? See ya.
Yep.
It's too bad that deck is atrocious right now.
I don't know. Ben Perry is a legacy player I respect quite a bit.
Yep.
Top 8 and open, at least one with Char Belcher.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
Said
he'll
he's-
top 8 with it.
He says he's planning on playing Belcher in part because there's a lot of the disruption you don't have to worry about. Things like Thalia that cause all sorts of fits for a deck like Storm. Thalia is way too slow for Belcher.
Yeah, it's just, I think that there are going to be a lot of Force Wolves because Blue-Red Delver is just such a good deck, so I don't love its position right now in the format. Briksza's going to take a mulligan here. I don't think he would keep with that many cards. Yeah.
All right, I found a 12-card hand I like.
Snap it off. Let's play. See what Arthur is able to do on his initial turns of the game. The big goal is, get a Trinisphere and play Blood Moon Effect, really mess with the opponent. He was clearly able to do that quite a few times during the tournament thus far, as he is in the elimination rounds right now. So things going okay.
It's one of those decks where, the die roll and your matchups are going to determine a large part of your day. It's true of every constructed format and Legacy especially, but when you catch the right breaks with a deck like Trinisphere Blood Moon, right metagames, the deck is going to be dominant. But when you run into a lot of basics, players ready to interact on turn 1, deck's a little less potent.
I'll tell you what, it's horrifying to play against. Just because you're always kind of sweating it and wondering how good their opening hand is and what they're going to do. What's he going to do on turn 1 or turn 2? Hopefully not very much. But this particular version of the deck it's very easy for him to play a Blood Moon or a Trinisphere on turn 1.
Again, 8 2-mana lands, plus Chromox, plus Simian Spirit Cut.
Yeah.
That's a lot of extra mana on turn 1. Even Gemstone Caverns to the sideboard for good measure.
There's a mountain, just a passing of the turn. Briksza going to play a Flooded Strand before passing the turn back. You see the Spell Pierce in hand.
You see Rudy without Force of Will. So if Marshall has, say, turn 1 Trinisphere, the game might end before it even starts from Rudy's side of the table.
It's very vintage-esque. City of Traders, Blood Moon. Going to sacrifice the Flooded Strand. The interesting thing here is what land do you search up?
He's got 2 options here. He can get something to fight over this, or he can just go get a Plains, allow it to resolve, and try to play with the island that's in his hand.
Well, there's the island. He's going to go with that one. Now, to be fair, Briksza does have a copy of Tree Nemesis in hand.
So double blue is the priority?
Yeah, it looks to be the case. So after a hearty shuffle, make sure the deck is sufficiently randomized, and you have to imagine this is going to get Spell Pierced.
So just a quick confirmation. Rudy's deck has no way to remove an artifact once it's in play besides one main deck Council's Judgment.
That's what it looks like, yeah. So if he went to the Ensnaring Bridge plan, it's actually pretty good. Tree Nemesis the draw.
Usually in these sort of builds, you'll see at least, one wear tear or something as a catch-all for these sort of things, but Rudy does not appear to have it.
There's a GT. Blood Moon. Now Cavern of Souls. City of Traders will stay in play because it's a mountain now. It's going to name human. Pass the turn back. There's True Nemesis. Briksza's draw for the turn was a blue elemental blast. Arthur's will draw. Cavern. Naming Goblin.
Still a mountain, but you still have to resolve the
But of course.
Cavern's effect. Rudy with a great hand, but again, very soft to Ensnaring Bridge. And if his one out here is Council's Judgment, well, he's pretty far away from casting that.
Yeah, and there is the bridge. That's going to resolve. Pass the turn back. 3 cards in hand for Arthur's. Looks like Arthur's realized that that's a pretty good plan in this matchup. Briksza draws a copy of Brainstorm. He's going to cast it. So up we go. 3 cards coming. Couple cards coming back. One thing we know for sure is that it's almost a forced Brainstorm lock now because no fetch lands.
Yeah, it's much harder for Rudy to shuffle.
You see a couple white cards there.
There were a couple paths Rudy could have taken in this game. He sort of made his bed here, assuming that GT plus True Nemesis would be good enough, which it is in a good percentage of games. But Ensnaring Bridge was the one hole in the plan, and now he's only out here, besides say going ultimate with Jace is his 1 copy of Council's Judgment. He needs to find double white. That's not going to be easy to do.
Well, there is a cute little play that can happen. Is there's a Mog Catcher. It involves Stoneforge, Mystic, and Jite, where you give it 0 power, then you get in.
You move it up and down?
Yeah, you move it up and down and all around. Now, I don't know if we're going to get there because Rudy doesn't have white mana just yet, but there is a line of play that exists here that is super adorable. Here comes True Name. It's going to pump twice, it looks like, and now he's going to kill the Mog Catcher. So for Arthur's, he needs to get cards out of his hand. That's the issue here.
The flip side of this is I don't like Rudy using all Digite counters right there for the reason you just described. I think holding 1 in the chamber instead of dumping all of them in, you know, if your True Name can continue to attack, you can cash in those counters somewhere down the line. And having the 1 counter, it does give you the possibility, as slim as it may be, to do the play you're describing where you're shrinking things and then attacking.
Chrome Mox, that'll empty the hand. That'll do just fine. Just go with a Snapcaster Mage over there. Red card will be imprinted. And now we're going to see what this is going to be if he does cast anything. Arthur's has 2 cards. There's a Spell Skite, sure. A passing of the turn. Interesting stuff.
Yep.
There's a Vendilion Click. Take a look at the last card. He's thinking about letting him keep it. That's to judge with that card, as we couldn't see close the player. True Name's going to put the top card to the bottom, so looked like a slight misstep there, but...
Yep. Vendilion Click, still one of the most awkward cards in Magic that people regularly play to resolve.
The card's public. I mean, he showed it to him, so we should know.
Rudy here. Trying to find some help here, but again, no shuffling to be done.
There's a Flooded Strand. Let's see what Arthur's draws. Just has to keep the hand empty as best he can. Here's 4 mana. Mog Catcher, foil 1. Nice.
Sweet.
Yeah, indeed.
Someone opened up some Nemesis boxes.
It's going to get countered by a Blue Elemental Blast. So see you later, Alligator. Pass the turn back. Counterspell the draw. Pass the turn back. We might be here a while.
Yep.
Ancient Tomb, kick it over. Swords the draw. No white mana, can't sacrifice Flooded Strand. Pass the turn, draw a card. Ancient Tomb, kick it back. Containment Priest. Can't cast that one either. Imperial Recruiter. Counterspell. Try again.
And as good as Rudy's hand is, he risks getting to a spot here where a lot of Marshall's draws require a counterspell, and Rudy is playing to very few outs. They're in the deck. If he finds them, he's good to go, but there aren't that many.
Forcible to draw that turn. It'll just be a passing of the turn. Authors will draw a card. 4 mana. Koth. Nope. Snapcaster Mage. Looks like it's going to have to be Blue Blast. Yep.
Koth is pretty exciting here. Just go ultimate.
I mean, that's the game plan.
Go to the top rope.
Yeah, hide behind the bridge, cast the Koth, hope it's good.
You can see it's you know, Rudy's getting worn down for as many counterspells as he has. The cost, the Imperial Recruiters, certain random spells like Mog Catcher, they all require answers.
Draw a card. Got to keep that hand empty. Got to play something. So, yes, sir. Simeon Spirit Guide. Hello, ladies. Pass it back. Briksza will draw Volcanic Island. Got plenty of blue and red mana. Needs white. There's another Spell Skite. Send it back. Let's just draw a go. Oh, no. The problem is here. That's a way to win through a bridge.
Well, I think Rudy wants to wait until he has another blue card as backup here because he doesn't want to just randomly die to something that resolves.
Sure.
So I think he's willing to wait for another blue card so he can cast it with Forcible backup.
Yeah, I suppose there's not much of a rush, but here is Jace. Take a look at the top card. Now you can control Arthur's draw step. Suppose you don't need to kill a bridge when you have that card in your deck.
This is the other way besides the Council's judgment of winning through a bridge.
Yep. Jace will put the top card to the bottom. Arthur's will draw a card. Again, he's got to keep that hand empty. There's the City of Traders. Pass the turn back. Things not lining up great for him this game. Batterskull was the draw. Jace is going to go up. Fate Celia. You can have that one. Pass it back. Mountain, kick it. Briksza draws. Brainstorm. Fate Seal. Don't have a great look at that one.
It appears to be a Mog Catcher.
Well, that's got to go to the bottom.
Yeah, if Rudy can't kill it.
There's a Batterskull. Surprised to see him cast that one. Doesn't have an impact on the game.
Exactly. I would rather just keep up the mana to be able to hard cast Force of Will.
Another ensnaring bridge.
And then cast the Brainstorm down the line.
Yep. Take a look at the top card. That stays. Arthur's will draw. Trinisphere. Put it in play with some gusto. Dig through time. As Jace does move up to 13. Take a look. Leave it on top very quickly. Arthur's will draw this one too, as Briksza will discard a Stoneforge Mystic. Couple of cards, not going to get the job done. Rudy Briksza going to win this match over Marshall Arthurs. 2-0. Jeskai Stoneblade takes down Mono Red Mog Catcher, and Briksza will move on to the semis.
Sometimes decks just don't have a lot in the way of selection. They're leaning on their opening hands to allow them to push their opponent out of the game entirely. That's what Marshall's deck is up to. In both games, he didn't have a play on turn 1. Rudy was able to defend himself with Spell Pierce, and eventually his better cards just overcome Marshall's disconnected pieces.